Hello, I am bald, and Merry Christmas. A lot has changed since my last video in which I talked a lot about AI, social media, and how that's influencing all kinds of writing. Safe to say I have learned a lot since then, and I've made progress in how I can become a better writer going into 2026. With that in mind, on this bright Christmas day, I want to give out some knowledge on this holiday to talk about things I love as well as things I don't like. Case in point, how to show and not tell in the case of being a writer. Hello, if you don't know me, my name is Arnel Arcega. I'm one of the healthiest authors and writers on this platform. As such, I educate people on how to read and write so that they can not only improve their language, but also become stronger writers in the long run. If you want my personal help, then check out my Instagram down the link in the description so I can personally help you write your own books. Along with that, check out my own books down there as well. For now, let's get into the process of how to show and not tell as a writer through my own Christmas experience. Last night, I was writing in my journal, not this one, but a smaller one, discussing my own life during Christmas. It was weird because a lot of good things have happened recently. I reconnected with an old friend, I rewatched the Minecraft movie, and I celebrated my younger brother's birthday. To say the least, a lot has happened, and I wanted to write a lot of these details down, but I couldn't figure out exactly how or where to start. It's been a while since I fully dived into the writing process as I'm going into my fourth novel, and planning that made me realize that in order to become better writers, we have to be direct with what we are saying. It's easy to write down something like, oh, it was my brother's birthday and I had a good time. That gives off a strong statement that allows us to visualize how we are doing. But for most writers, especially for someone like you understand the importance of details. How we can visualize this in stuff like books and other sorts of media is important because in the case of books, we have to visualize what we are looking at. It's not like TV or movies in which we have the screens to portray everything said. For books, you have to visualize everything. And when we don't have enough of the details, a lot of things get muddy. You can completely change a story in the snap of a sentence. For instance, going back to my own Christmas Eve experience, I could potentially say one of my family members died halfway through the day, and that completely changes the story. That is the case of telling. We have to tell all these details and go into further inspection to truly make it clear what we're going to say. When the case of trying to tell a good story, you have to know what you're working with. For instance, let's say we have a white room. This is what I call the white room metaphor. We are surrounded in a white room and we have to tell a story in it. If I use my Christmas example and put in all the things that happened on that day, for instance, my brother's birthday, reconnecting with a friend, watching a Minecraft movie, I have to build clarity for each of these steps. In order to show and not tell, you still have to tell to a certain degree, but to show it, you have to visualize with the details you have. The white room allows us to spread, but if it's too white, then everything becomes empty. Let's put me and let's say my best friend here. We are reconnecting, but we're just in the middle of nowhere. Even though this was mostly happening over text in real life, I can go into more details on how to explain it. The walls were bright, it was very lush, it felt warm and nice. Something as small as that allows us to feel an emotion. That's what we want as writers. To visualize this situation, we have to be able to feel the emotions and make us connected to what we are doing. Case in point, a white room is a blank state. It's empty. It's an empty canvas that allows us to build on more and more ideas. But the problem is most writers I know have this struggle in which they want to be as direct as possible. They go deep into details. But then there's also writers I know that over-explain things, make it too obvious of showing. We want the perfect balance between showing and telling. And one of my favorite examples of this comes in my novel, The Winning Complex, which you can check out down the link in the description. While not fully published, it is currently my favorite book I've ever written. And one of my favorite moments in that story was going on about the inciting incidents. Spoilers for the book, but you can check it out down there as well. The big kickoff of the story comes in a death. It comes in the fact that we're having a situation in which someone is getting shot. Now, even though this is very direct in the story, as you can read, I use the ability to show having examples similar to stuff like 1984 or the inciting incidents seen in stories like Jurassic Park or Supermarket. While these books vary in quality, I'm able to use something like a white room metaphor to build across the tension or to add more drama or emotions to the scene. We want our audience to be able to connect what we are reading. These mystical worlds allows us to escape, while in other stories like murder mysteries, romance novels, or even something as small as just a slice of life, we have our ability to enjoy what we're doing. Using my real life Christmas experience, I'm able to show what I'm talking about just by giving out the details. It's not about telling what happens. Yes, you have to be direct, but you have to be able to go into detail of what this is all about. The room was warm. I felt this warm, happy grin talking with my friend. It was terrible to watch a Minecraft movie, but it made everyone laugh. You see the difference? When we have more direct sayings, it gets our point across. But to add little bits of details, it's like cooking. You add a little bit more ingredients and the food tastes stronger. Therefore, the writing becomes better. We can use real life experiences to the best of our advantage, whether that's based on the place we work at, the school we go to, or even just the people we interact with. Use these real life experiences to your benefit. Sometimes as writers, we don't have the clarity or the foundation for what we can write, but I want you to be able to still write that no matter what, even if it's something you're not close with. Case in point, if you're trying to write a garbage man character and you don't know anyone who does garbage, use your real life experiences to base that around. Try interacting with garbage people and you'll be able to show the details a lot more vividly. It's about how you come across that presentation. And if you want to be able to get the world across on your writing, you have to use and respect your audience. Final point of today is all about your audience. If we're trying to show our own details and explain what we're doing, then we have to be stronger with what we're getting across. My Christmas story's audience is you. You guys are the ones listening to this story, and I want to be able to show the world what we're doing. What do we see in our own writing? What do we see in the creations we are doing? If the audience has different pictures of the book we're going to create, we have to be able to respect that knowledge and understand that not everyone's going to have the same visual. Remember the Hunger Games and how everyone thought Rue was a white girl? Same case applies. It's different to say the least, but the details matter. You have to be able to respect your audience and to show what you want. Show the important details and move the plot along. You can't just come up with something random like a family member dying in the middle of nowhere unless it contributes to the plot. Use these details to further advance your story. It's not about trying to sound smart, nor is it trying to impress your audience. It's about respecting their minds, beliefs, and where they are in life. To know that they have the mental capabilities to learn and use your writing to the best of your ability. You may struggle, but always remember, you are the writer, and this is your story. I hope you enjoyed this full guide. Use all of these pieces of advice here to become better writers. It's all about the presentation, and if we are able to respect our audience, move the plot along, and further visualize our own books through our own details, then everything becomes complete. It sucks being a writer in 2025, but I'm telling you, a change will happen. We're going to make reading and writing a lot more accessible in 2026. I am Arnel Arcega, and until next time, keep on reading, keep on writing, and take care.